Did you know that there are biblical principles in the Declaration of Independence? Well, there are.
I'm Tim Greenwood, and this is Windows on the Word.
The Declaration of Independence, adopted unanimously by Congress on July 4th, 1776.
When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
Here begins the principles that I want you to see that are in the Bible.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
So number one, there is a Creator God by which men have been created. Number two, that Creator God grants, endows rights which include life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed.
So, number three, governments exist to protect the rights that God gives to us. But note that without these first three principles, there can be no such thing as liberty. That brings us to number four. There are absolute moral laws or truths. And number five, below this moral law, we the people get to form a government.
That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
So that brings us now to number six, that if governments fail or refuse to fulfill these principles, we the people have the right to end that government and to form a new government that will.
Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new gods for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government.
So that brings us now to number seven. It is not only our right to throw off and get rid of despotic government, but to form a brand new government. And not only that, but it's our duty to do so. The Declaration goes on to list specific despotic acts that the King of England as due cause for the separation, and then declares the absolute freedom of our independent states from Great Britain.
And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Now these are the principles which our Declaration of Independence was formed upon. Number one, there is a divine Creator. Number two, that Creator gives individuals certain inalienable rights. Now these are not rights to groups. They are not collective rights. They are individual rights endowed by the Creator God and not by government. Number 3, government exists to protect these rights. Number 4, there are moral absolutes that govern our lives. Number 5, below these moral absolutes, we have the right to form a government. And 6 through 7, if a system of government doesn't do its job, you can and should abolish it and form a new one. Now, unfortunately, we've been fed the lie so long that our founders were atheists and agnostics and deists that we seem to be slow to believe that our nation had such God-centered founding principles. But what most people don't understand is that 52 out of the 56 signers of the Declaration of Independence had strong Christian beliefs. 52 Christians, Congregationalists, Unitarians, Episcopalians, Presbyterians, and Quakers. 1 Catholic, and only 2 were indeed deists, but even they both attended the Episcopalian churches from time to time. They had their own pews. The United States of America is a Christian nation, founded by Christians, founded upon Christian principles, and don't ever let anybody ever tell you anything different.